Hello, everybody. Friday, we made it. For everybody who's excited for things like that, I don't know. I'm excited for another day. As cheesy as some people may say, that may be to say, but hey, not everybody woke up today. I'm happy that I did. And then I could start it off with a verse of the day for today. Yeah, look at me. Floating all in the verses now. Today's verse of the day comes from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, and it says, "The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." Once again, that verse comes from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, and it says, "The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." It's kind of like the verse that was talking to us about how the Lord is our rock, and how I said how we always say when we describe things as being our rock, it's something that we know we can always rely on, something that we can always go to. And it's kind of another, not the same, but in the same family and aspect, and you know same part basically of it, where it's like the Lord is a fortified tower that basically like when they say that you got a fortified tower or something like Fort Knox, or when you've heard all the sayings and things before, it's something that people hold in high regard as like an impenetrable thing that you can find like solace and you can find safety in, that you can believe in and rely in. And that's the analogy that this verse is basically trying to make. But the Lord is like, he's a fortified tower times like whatever number you want to put in there, because he is what I know I personally go to at time, like who I go to at times when honestly I just don't understand a lot of things, and when things have been hard. And as I've gotten older, I've remembered to also go to him when things are great. And yes, like, not even just for little stupid things, like, I mean, not even just for the big things, I guess, but for little stupid things as well, too. Like, yes, like, thank you, Lord, for giving me that, for helping me through that and making sure that happened. So it's just something that I always try to remember that I need to thank him for. And honestly, like, we've always just been taught that we need to talk to him more and go to him more. And I've realized that, like, yes, I may have been introduced to the Lord, but, through my mother and through, like, church and everything. But at the end of the day, like, my relationship with God has to be my relationship with God. And, good relationships you feel safe in. You feel comfortable in being yourself and be able to say what you want to say and know that you'll be protected honestly and loved unconditionally. And I can honestly say that I've always felt like that with my relationship with God, especially as I've grown older, and you water it and you definitely give more to it, because man, we all know it's like being in a one-sided relationship isn't great to be in. And with the relationship with God, he's definitely always doing way more for us than honestly we can say that we're doing for him at times. So, and he loves us anyway. He still takes care of us, and that's so beautiful. So we ourselves have to be better. Like I say all the time, talking to myself all the time. When I say that, and just doing this and reading these Bible verses is always a good way of me just jolting myself to remember how to align myself mentally and where I need to be. And this is a good verse to go into the weekend and end off with, to remember that Lord is a fortified tower, man. He's where we go to be safe. So we know where we learn love, where we know protection, comfort, and everything. And we all need some safety. So it's another great verse. Hope you all have a great weekend. Me, I will. I'm doing my best too. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Have a great one, like I said. Don't be afraid to be somebody. And don't be afraid to be good to somebody either. I love you all. Peace.